Well, Dave, first of all, can we just ask a status update on Challinor today?
I don't know too much, to be honest. He's gone off to hospital. I think he was conscious, obviously a bit confused and concussed, but I can't give you any more details than that, unfortunately.
And Ethan Pye, he went off very early in the game as well today.
Yeah, Ethan has got what looks like a high ankle sprain twist, so he's in a boot just to protect him. We'll get him scanned tomorrow and see how he is. But I suppose we know from previous experiences they can be anything. Can be 7 to 10 days. Will Collar's lasted about 4 months, so it can be anything really. So we'll have to, like I say, see what a scan result says and cross our fingers.
In the context of the game, and you already had sort of half a dozen in the treatment room, another 2 today. Have injuries really caught up with you today?
They have. I suppose from our perspective, or my perspective, we've caused both our injuries ourselves, because the first one we have the kick-off. I have no idea what Aki's doing, and then Ethan has to make a better decision to just clear the ball and not try and rectify Aki's poor pass. Gets caught on the ball and we could be down 1-0 down within 30 seconds, but within a player down. And then I'm sick of beating the drum with our players around, talking and shouting and taking control of situations. We had the issue with Crosby ultimately put Will Collar out for 4 months last year by not saying anything, and now we've another player who has been knocked unconscious, and again I don't know what injury he has as a consequence of that, but it certainly didn't look very nice. And just by someone shouting the name and taking control of a situation, that's preventable, and maybe it will take that for our players to learn. Like I say, I'm not too fussed about other players. We need to talk far more as a team and take responsibility. So to have that happen to someone as a result of something that was preventable, if that's the case, like I say, it's pretty galling.
It always felt today, Dave, as if the first goal was going to be all important. But should you have had a penalty just before the goal was given? You all seem to feel that way on the bench anyway.
I've not seen it, so I don't know. But it certainly looked very close. That doesn't take away from the fact the ball goes up the other end. We don't deal with it, and as it was, Noilly loses his man for a free header in the middle of our 6-yard box. I spoke at half time. I felt like they say the game would be about a moment. I thought the first half looked like two teams that didn't want to lose. Pretty safe in terms of how they went about it. Any opportunities they had were from our mistakes, really our poor play, and anything that we had was from a ball played forward, sort of counter press, win the ball high up the pitch, and then potentially look for quality in them attacking areas. And whether that's a consequence of what people deem the game is, whether that's as a consequence of our poor start from the kick-off that means people go, oh, I don't want to be the one that makes a mistake. I'm not too sure, but we've got to be better than that. And like I said, the goals come from two mistakes, two really bad bits of defending from us. Fraser's touch for the second one. All right, people can say that at that point after 102 minutes or whatever that the game's fizzling out, but I still doesn't go away from the fact there's a poor mistake that cost us another goal. I thought the last 20 minutes or so we'd spoken around areas we get into to hurt them with underlapping runs. We didn't do that. We did that once, probably in the 87th minute. I think we got down the side and had an opportunity, and happened again. Aki put Jaden down the side for another chance. So we had a couple at the end. I suppose their keepers made a couple of good saves, but our quality wasn't good enough.
Having said that, I mean, it's 2 home defeats now in 14 months. It's a great record. Normally, after a defeat, you want to get back on the horse pretty quickly. In your case, though, are you kind of relieved now you've got a 12-day break because of the injuries, because players are coming back, you're losing 1 or 2, you've got new signings, and also the transfer window?
Yeah, definitely. There's a chance for us now, like I say, to mentally reset and have a few days away from it just to reflect and see what we've done well and what we need to do better. And like I say, physically isn't going to get, we're not going to get players back physically from injury in the 12 days, but physically just give people a chance to recover, and be back at it, looking forward to being back here against Walsall in, like I say, in 12 days time. Yeah, it does bring in the opportunity of potentially bodies being in the building. It's quite evident that we need them, not just on quality, on numbers, more than anything else, because we've lost another 2 today that you wouldn't envisage will be back for that Walsall game, and we've still at the moment got a bench that we have Cody and we have Ashton on there, and we're really young and inexperienced, and we're in a position where we need experienced players that are tried and tested and know how to deal with the demands of being a team that's top of the league and wanting to get promoted from this division.
Ethan Bristow wasn't eligible today, but he's here at Edgeley Park. It was great to have a chat with him before the game. He came on the pitch at half-time as well. And what's he going to add to your squad, do you feel?
He'll certainly add quality down that left-hand side. He'll athletically bomb up and down, and delivery, if you go back to, like I say, take his spell at Minnesota, which hasn't been the best one for him, take that away. His spell at the Tranmere was a really productive one, so hopefully we'll see that. We'll see that here. Like I say, just a fresh personality, a fresh person with ideas, a fresh way of playing a little bit. I think, like I say, will be important for us. Hence why not just him, but the other players we potentially can bring in, if we like. Hopefully we'll have the impact that we all feel they will.
And Odin Bailey's loan is up today officially, or another couple of days, but he can't play again for County. What would you like to see happen, or do you know if anything's happening?
No, I think we'd all like for Odin to stay with us, but in order for transfers to happen, it needs to be right for three parties. It needs to be right for us. It needs to be right for Odin. It needs to be right for Salford. And ultimately, if those three things don't happen, then he'll remain a Salford player who obviously played for Salford and for us this season. So he can't play for everybody else. I suppose, do you bring into the uncertainty of their managerial situation and not having a manager, and what that looks like? But probably with this one, there is the potential of, if things do take a little bit longer, then things take a little bit longer. He can't play for, like I say, can't play for anybody else aside from us and Salford. But I think we'd all hope that we could get something worked out, and he could be a player here permanently. But if that's not the case, that doesn't work for everybody, then unfortunately that will be a disappointment. But that's where we currently stand.
And just finally on the injury front, any of the current crop of injuries likely to be able to feature against Walsall? I'm thinking of the likes of maybe Miles or Macker, or any of them likely to be back?
No, none of them will be back. Probably best case scenario with those two, we're looking at the end of January, with probably a return to play maybe the start of February, and then with a Will Collar and a Saw, those two, you're probably looking 2 or 3 weeks into February. So no, nothing which we've currently got that will say will be even close to being back to against Walsall, to be honest.
And just finally, in terms of the transfer window, how involved are you likely to get? There's a big team here behind the scenes. Obviously, Simon Wilson be heavily involved. How involved are you in this process now?
Yeah, we're all involved. We have recruitment meetings every week, and we've had recruitment meetings every week since October. So it's not something new on us, constantly updated. They're all moving targets. They're all plates spinning. They're all trying to be as proactive as possible, but then ultimately having to be reactive because of scenarios like today happening. So we probably weren't looking at bringing in a right back. Maybe we need to look at where we're at, certainly for the next few weeks. So you have all them things that I suppose challenge you. But it's an exciting time. We've got to look at it really, really ruthlessly, and like I say, celebrate what we've done and what we've been good at over this first part of the year. but be brutally honest around where we need to improve and where we need to get better. That's the harsh bit, if you like, but our job's to make sure that we're in a position to get this team and this group promoted. If we need to add to that group, then so be it.
Thanks for your time. Have a good couple of weeks.
Welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.